Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to discuss the recent phenomenon that's been sweeping the sports nation. Well, yeah, well, I guess we could say the sports nation, right? It's the story about the myth, the legend of Caitlin Clark, right? So if you've been following the WNBA or sports in general, because she's pretty much dominating a lot of the conversation lately, and every week it's something new, right? She didn't make the Olympic team. That's a snub. It's, the other players are bullying her. She's being treated unfairly, right? It's just one story after the other, right? That's the best way of putting it. And what's kind of crazy is I haven't seen a up and coming player or up and coming star get this much media attention since Tim Tebow, I would say, was the last one. And I felt like that ruined his career. Yes, he wasn't the most talented quarterback, but I felt like the circus that surrounded him, that the media put around him, caused NFL teams to just distance themselves and just be like, you know what, I don't want that. I don't want my players answering questions about Tim Tebow leading up to an important game, right? Now, this is kind of the same, right? This is Caitlin Clark. And I just think it's unfortunate for her to some degree. I'm sure she's loving the attention that it's getting her for her businesses, right? And I'm sure she's making money, or at least I hope she's making money off her likeness with all the attention that she's getting. But the reason why it's also a detriment to her is she's being used, right, by political pundits and fake news, and more importantly, the woke right. Now, I knew the woke right was going to become a thing, because that's the way American politics and American government works. Crazy fights crazy. So when the woke left became a thing and started dominating, the right took that playbook and just flipped it, and now they use the same script for themselves, right? So they're using her as their white knight, as the title suggests. Every week it's, she's being treated unfairly. They wouldn't do this if this was a black girl. The black girls are mistreating her in the league. Look, every great athlete gets hazed and gets the physical beating that a lesser talented player, let's say, would get. Everybody went crazy for the Michael Jordan documentary, right? The Last Dance, where he literally told everyone he had to dedicate an off season to lifting weights so he could take the physical toll that was put on him by other teams, rival teams, right? If you aren't more skilled, and I play sports on a high school level, so it's nothing compared to these guys. But if you play sports and you're going to get someone who's athletically more gifted or just more skilled than you, the only thing you can really do, which is why we love sports, is try to impose yourself physically, that maybe that will wear them down and lower their athletic ability and lower their skills a bit, right? Because every time they have to pick themselves back up, it takes more energy, right? And that's what she's going through. She's not complaining. Why are you, right? In terms of the Olympics, let's be serious. She is not one of the best players in the league right now. She might be one of the best talents, but she's not one of the best players. There have been plenty of women who have been snubbed from the Olympics. There has been MVP candidates, MVP winners, Candace Parker, and a bunch of others who did not get invited to the Olympics when clearly they were already one of the best players in the league. If you want to take it back to the Last Dance, Isaiah Thomas was left off the Olympic squad, the dream team, the original dream team, for Christian Laettner. And I know what people are going to say. Well, that's how they did it back then, right? They would have a college guy on the bench. They could have made an exception for Isaiah Thomas. This is called the dream team. Make an exception and put Isaiah Thomas because he was one of the best players in the league. And they didn't make an exception for him, but you want the WNBA to make an exception for Caitlin Clark. It's like, enough, because we've seen this movie before, right? The left did this. The left, every little thing was, oh, that's not fair. That's not inclusive. That's not this. We need more of that. and everyone got sick of it. And now the right is just doing the same exact thing. And I knew this would happen. I made a video about this a while back, about how anti-woke would become just as insufferable as woke has. And I wouldn't consider the woke right anti-woke, but that was their original stance. And now they're just being woke in their own ways, right? And they're using Caitlin Clark as their white knight, right? They want her to be their champion. That is who they want to use. It was no different from Tim Tebow, where people just felt like, oh, he wasn't getting a fair treatment. Why aren't they playing him? Why this? Why that? Why is he not in the league? Like, guys, we gotta cut out the nonsense, right? Stop it. And as an audience, right, as citizens of this country, when are we going to stop letting these media outlets and these quote unquote content creators, when are we going to say no, that you can't farm our likes and our engagement any longer, right? We're not going to be farmed, right? So you can make a penny, right? Because that's what they're doing. Because I know people are going to push back and say, well, what about all the leftists that are, or the quote unquote leftists, because who knows, that are defending Caitlin Clark and saying she needs to be on the Olympic team. The Shannon Sharps and the Stephen A. Smith. Those guys are doing what they need to do because she's one of the biggest stories in sports, and they're chasing viewership. That's what they're doing. They're chasing viewership. Caitlin Clark is like the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Yankees. If you talk about it, people will watch it, right? And that's what ESPN and all these other sports outlets are doing. But that's not who I'm talking about in this video, right? Because we know those people are going to do that. Whatever is the hot sports topic, that's all they're going to talk about. And we know that. But we're talking about quote unquote political pundits or political content creators, right? The content creators or whatever you want to call them, I don't even know, that like to infuse politics and culture into their content. They're the ones out here reaching and trying to pump Caitlin Clark in our face every minute and say, it's not fair. She's not getting equal treatment. And if this was a black girl, the left would be going crazy. The left would be doing the woke left would be doing exactly what you're doing. And it's sickening. I don't care what end of the spectrum of wokeness you are on. If you're on the spectrum, you're a problem. You're a problem for us all. And I'm just reaching out to my fans and all fans who see this video and say, stop letting them farm you for attention and engagement. Don't let them make money off of you. Don't let them get clicks off of you. It's nonsense. Caitlin Clark is a talent. And if she works hard in this offseason and all the seasons to come, I'm sure she's going to be one of the best players in the league. I'm sure she's going to be one of the best players in the world. And she'll be on the Olympic team on the next one. She might even make this one. What if somebody gets hurt? We don't even know. But stop listening to people who are just trying to farm your attention and farm your engagement by spewing rhetoric to rile you up, to just make you angry, right? That's what the woke left did. They just, rally the troops and we're doing this in the name of diversity. No, you're not. You never was. It's a lie. And that's what the woke right is doing. It's the same thing. We're trying to be just as diverse. You guys told us that you wanted diversity, but now y'all don't want to give this white girl a fair share. It's nonsense. It's insufferable. It's disgusting. And they're just using us for their plight. And I'm urging you guys, I'm imploring you to not be farmed and not be used for these, fools, right? They're just idiots and just disgusting behavior. And they're the worst parts of this country. And I'm sure and I know people say, well, there's people worse than that, obviously, but it's worse. I'd rather you just be flat out bad than to pretend that you aren't bad when you are, and you do have a ulterior motive, and you do have a sick agenda to rile people up in anger, right? They don't even want to rile you up for something positive. They want you mad. That's what they want. They want everybody mad. That's crazy. You guys understand how crazy that is, that they want you angry at everything? You know what I mean? Like, think about that. They want you guys mad and angry at everything. They don't want you happy at all. They just want you angry because they know angry people is how you get ratings. It's how you get attention. Those are the people that's more willing to support. Are angry people, right? Upset people. That's and they know that and they farm that. And just don't get farmed, y'all. And if you think Caitlyn deserves more, that's fine. I'm not saying that you shouldn't endorse her and you shouldn't support her. Go out there and support her. Like I said, I watched her in college. I'm not a big fan of the WNBA. I'll catch a game here or there. Usually I'll wait to the playoffs, kind of like what I do with hockey. I just wait for the playoffs and, I'll watch the playoff games because it's high intensity and you're going to see, you're watching the best players in the world and the best teams compete. And that's always intriguing. But I don't got nothing else to say, but guys, don't get farmed and don't listen to these fools out here, right? And with that being said, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you want to hear more, subscribe and click the notification bell. And as always, take care of your mind, take care of your body, and take care of each other. That's all we got. Peace.